Good morning. This is the Hellion from the Hellion Rocks. Beautiful day here in New Mexico. We're here to talk about life evolution and change. I remember several years ago sitting in the parking lot of the Owl Cafe, listening to some songs by these guys, Of the Earth. Throughout the years, they've transitioned, worked with Frank Hanna and the Tesla. Now they're back, got a new CD coming out, Project Playlist. Jeff Sandoval, Mike Araiza. Tell me how we got here, guys.
What's up, James? How are you, buddy?
Here we are, how many years later?
8 years now, right?
8 years. This guy was one of the first to hear our music, this journey that we began. And
well, actually, I met you, James, through my brother Christopher.
Correct.
I think you were working with him with his project back then. And since then, I think we've become pretty close, good friends, almost like family in a sense.
Well, what happened was, we had that bond that came up, and then you were in Surface.
Right.
And we would go hang out, check these guys out. I saw Mike on stage. Mike emotes what he plays and plays what he emotes, and it's very cool to see somebody that puts their emotion right through their playing, and I was immediately drawn to that. And then the three of us got a little bond going on, and we just kind of shared what was going on in our lives, and Of the Earth came out. I remember the songs for the Frank Hanna and Six String Soldiers album when they were in their infancy, before they even went to that far.
Right. Yeah.
I was hearing all the demo tracks and stuff before that even happened. And now we find ourselves come full circle back to Project Playlist, which I think is a awesome collection of songs. And they're not all brand new. You guys have collected 5 different songs.
Right.
And the thing I like about all 5 of these songs is it's not cookie cutter. They're your words, your emotions, the playing. It's quality music. Like we were talking earlier, it's crafted.
Right.
It's not just thrown together.
Right.
So let's talk about that.
Well, let's go back to the beginning. Initially, when Mike and I started with Of the Earth, and the name Of the Earth came from one of the words, one lyric that I wrote. Scratching, crawling through the earth. So Mike's like, Of the Earth, it'd be great. So we decided to call the project that at the time. But when we started, we had no idea what we were doing. We were just having fun, writing because of the love of it. It's something we had to do. And actually, you were the first person that heard what we did back then. We were like, who can we trust, man? Who's unbiased? Who has a great opinion?
To help calibrate, calibrate with,
if it sucks or not, whatever. And you were like, you know what? This is really good, guys. So from that point, it kind of gave us the springboard to go forward and continue to do it. So.
And we've, our rule of thumb, if you would, is that we've learned through, when we were younger, doing the clubs and cover bands and stuff like that, and progressing, and just being songwriters is what our true passion is. We've learned to keep the circle small.
Right.
Keep the circle small, and to continue to work people that encourage us and to take our skill set to a higher level and to grow. I think growth is the one thing that Jeff and I really strive for, is to grow as songwriters, is grow as fathers, grow as family members, grow as brothers and dads and stuff like that. And I think music should reflect those growth in life. And I feel strongly that the 2 new songs that we have on this project reflect that tremendously. And all of our friends who we really appreciate have listened to our music over the years. Have the one thing that is constant is if it's from the Of the Earth project, or if it's on Six String Soldiers, or now with this new CD, our thumbprint is there,
right,
big time. And you'll know it's a Jeff Sandoval and Mike Araiza song because of what our work ethic and the passion that we put into it.
Not only that, but Jeff and I were talking earlier. You guys follow the program. And by saying that, I mean you guys appreciate the fact a good engineer,
Right.
Absolutely.
a good mixer,
Yep.
because it's alchemy. I've said that many times. That,
Yeah.
you can write the most fantastic song, but how you record it and put it out, it's not going to capture that. One of the things I've noticed about the things you do put out is you do take the time. Chris Collier, thank you. You do take the time to make sure that the finished product matches what you had up here and in here. And we were just listening to some tracks earlier. I'm not going to name names because of what it is, but you could really see the difference in the impact that you guys' music properly mixed and mastered and recorded versus somebody else that we don't need to worry about that. And it's less dynamic on their end. You put in this song, it's a whole world of difference. Without even changing the volume on your stereo, you can hear the impact because of the work that was done.
Well, our philosophy's always been, it's about how can we craft the song. It's not about my ego or Mike's ego. It's not about any of that. The thing that we tend to do is, once you get that producer, invite those people in, you kind of relinquish your rights to everything in a sense and say, what can you do with this? This is our idea. How can we make it better? How can we refine it? And it's good to have that person there that, like a Chris Collier, that is capable of hearing A, B, and C and going, why don't we take this part out, move this, shift this, and we're going to do this, and then you can harmonize here, here, and here. You can wank all you want, right?
Yeah.
And then from that point, it exceeds our expectations every time.
And to add to that, for the two new songs that we have here, the one that's the first track is a track that's called "The Good Fight."
Yeah.
And that right there is a testament of what Jeff was just talking about. Not only did Chris Collier play drums and play bass and stuff like that, but he produced it as well. And it was that rearrangement, and it was the discipline in there, in a good, positive way of, we could do better. Let's do better. And we did it in like 12 hours. So it's, you know what I mean? That's another thing that Jeff and I take a lot of pride in, is being very efficient with our time and being very efficient with when we go out there. We're there to work. We're not there to do anything else. We're not there for our egos. We're there to put in the blood, sweat, and tears that are needed to put out what we feel is quality music and a quality experience. And that's why we, when we talk to all of our friends, when that we really appreciate, they say, you guys really need to put out a CD. The digital is cool, whatever. But, our friends wanted a CD, and so we worked really hard to put out a CD, and here it is. And we did it all ourselves, and we're really proud of it, man.
Project playlist.
Right.
Tell me about that.
Well, Mike's like, dude, we're up late. He's looking at his computer. He's like, we need a title for this. And I'm like, oh, man, we need something like a cool slogan. So I started flipping through.
Thesaurus, yeah.
Kind of going and playlist. And I'm like, why don't we just call it playlist? Because in a sense, that's what it is. It's a compilation of everything we've done over the past few years, and with some new tracks. So why not? Every song is completely different. It has a completely different vibe. So that's why we called it Project Playlist.
Yeah, Project Playlist. And also, a lot of folks have that playlist. I'm a runner. I like to run, and so I'll have a playlist that I'll put, for the type of temperament that I'll want for that run, and what's funny is I'll make it and I'll start running and I'll say this sucks and I'll move on to something else.
So we want to be your playlist.
Right, yeah, so we want to be a playlist, Now the thing that's interesting about this CD, staying in the physical manner, the two new songs for right now are exclusive to the CD.
There you go. Want to hear them?
So if you want to hear them, you got to buy the CD.
Right.
And in addition to that, so we have 5 songs, okay? The CD is $5. And we have a flat rate for shipping, which is $3. So for $8 total, you get the CD shipped to you. We're going to do a pre-order, and they're all going to ship in the latter part of June. And I think that's a great deal because you're getting a physical CD, 5 songs, 2 that are going to be exclusive to the CD. That's kind of like our way to say, all right, if you want something physical, we're going to do some physical media, and it's going to remain on the physical media.
Yep.
And you got a guest on one of the songs, right?
Yeah, Frank Hannon.
Yeah.
Frank Hannon. There you go.
And the only way that people are going to hear that song is to buy the CD.
Buy the CD.
And talking about, I don't know how the planets aligned and all. Funny thing is, Mike and I had some studio time booked. We were going in, and I get a call from Frank Hannon. Hey, buddy, how you doing? I'm like, oh, hey, man, what's going on? So he's like, I'm going to be in town on this particular day. What do you guys want to hang out? And I'm like, we're going to be tracking. He's like, perfect. I'll go with you guys. I'll hang out and see, check out what you guys are doing. So
yeah, so we had lunch, and then he had some business to take care of, and no joke, the studio time was like booked at like 6 or 7 o'clock, and it all worked out. And he showed up. Hey, man, I got my slide, and there was, we had a guitar there for him, and he came in and he added some vocals, and once again, the circle's small. He had a couple ideas of, a couple parts, and he played some guitar, and fun.
One of the things about Jeff Sandoval, Mike Araiza music, and I know this because I've seen the inner workings of it. I know Mike will come to you with an idea. Oh, hey, check this out. You'll have something in your head. In my world, in my opinion, that's what makes it good, is the fact that you guys are taking things that in your lives that relate to you, that are meaningful, and you come together, and that chemistry works out. You get music that's real. It's not contrived.
Thanks, buddy.
I appreciate it.
That's the thing is, when you listen to these songs, and it's not just because we're here and because we're buds. I mean, this is straight up. I'm going to tell you how it is. This is music that makes you feel.
Yeah.
You feel that emotion. You feel what you're trying to convey. It's not. You're not sitting down to write the next hit song. It's not forced in any way, and that, I think, is organic music, and that is why music is music in the first place.
Right.
When we go back, we were talking about the Beatles and all that. I don't think that, I can't say this is just my opinion. I don't think that the Beatles set out to write what they did. I think it was, they had these feelings and emotions inside, and the best way they could convey it was music.
Right.
And in doing so, we got timeless classics.
True.
That are going to stick with us. There's a lot of music out today that I forgot who I was interviewing, but he coined the term fast food music. That that's catchy, it's here, and it's gone, and you'll never hear it again.
Wow.
And that's a shame that that's happening. But people that do write music that sticks with you, it, and that's what this music is.
It's all about the time, too. You go back to the Beatles. It was such a turbulent time now.
Right.
And I think right now we're experiencing a lot of turbulence in our time. There's a lot of craziness everywhere. So this is our release. I mean, this is the thing that makes us sane, right?
Unified. I think, you're a product of your environment, and all of us grew up, around music that had, every artist was different, and they all had something to say. The majority of them had something that was a positive reflection on my life. I mean, I fell in love with music because, my dad played Motown when I was a kid, and stuff like that. And my uncles played Led Zeppelin, and my brother played AC/DC. And so you had all these, the baton just kept going, and things kept getting greater and greater. The 80s to me were just absolutely fantastic with the array of music that you had. At her prime, you had Madonna. I mean, you had Mellencamp, you had Def Leppard, you had Tesla. I mean, you had something for everybody, and every aspect or every interpretation of music that was published was strong, was thought out, and it had this level of excellence. And so, we feel that we're a product of that environment, and we champion keeping that tradition as much as we can.
Yeah.
Nice. Jeff Sandoval, Mike Araiza, project playlist. Where can we buy it?
So we're going to include a link. We're going to include a link. We're going to include
wink.
We're We're going to include a link here in the comment section of this video, and then we'll share it on social media and stuff like that. We have a really simple way to purchase it. You could purchase it from your Android. You could purchase it from the web browser on your Android, from your iPhone, from your tablet. It's pretty straightforward. We've ran some tests, Jeff and I have, to make sure that it runs smooth for everybody. So it's going to be a pre-order. The pre-order is going to stack up. We're going to give it about a month's time or so, about 3 to 4 weeks, to sell our stock. And then once it's all been purchased, then we'll ship it out. But everybody will have a communication from us directly. I'll get the emails on my phone and stuff like that. And $8 for the new CD.
Right.
5 songs that we feel are very strong, 2 brand new songs, and we have some bonus tracks on there, and we're very proud of this project.
Use the guest function when you're buying it. You'll know what I mean.
Stay Hellion. Jeff Sandoval, Mike Araiza. We're out.
Cool, man.
Cool.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, man.